All right, there's the click. All right. Good morning, everybody. I am back. Donovan Sadiq. I am back in the saddle. I am back in Southern California, the Inland Empire. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Donovan Sadiq, internationally known as the Recovering Democrat. I am back. A lot of stuff on my mind while I was gone. Been kind of watching some stuff. I got a good question that came to me about certain thing. If you guys saw my post, I put up a post that says feminism is my enemy, and somebody wanted to know why would I put a statement like that up. The reason why is logical, and the logic is this: as a man around the world, there is no matriarchy that controls the moral fabric of a country or anything like that. Everything around the world, as set up by God, is patriarchal. Okay? And when you live in a patriarchal society, men benefit from a patriarchal society. So, logically, as a man, why would I support anything that goes against what benefits me? Logic. Now you've got some simp men out there, which which is really a big problem in this struggle between men and women. And you've got a lot of simp men out there that are basically going against the patriarchy. Whatever. It's natural for women to want to fight the patriarchy. That's no problem. And just because I'm a man that states feminism is my enemy, because it is. Feminism is trying to destroy the patriarchy, which by definition would make them my enemy. Okay? It's not my job to support women liberation. That's not my job. Somebody said, what if I had a daughter? I don't have a daughter, so I don't know how else I would answer it. But even if I did have a daughter, my daughter would not be raised to be a feminist. So my daughter would be raised to be a wife. So that's my answer to that. But I'm back. Nothing's really changed. I'm still up to date on stuff. You guys have been paying attention to politics. The Democrats are threatening to shut the government down if their demands are not met. And in those demands, it is a requirement in those demands that illegal immigration gets so many billions of dollars to support the illegals that are already here. That's a dead deal upon arrival. They actually believe this man is going to reverse a lot of the stuff that he's already taken away. Political theater. You guys are watching political theater in its real time. They keep telling us that Donald Trump is such a threat. He is such this, and he's a dictator and this. But I don't see the Democrats doing anything about it, but talking. There's no legislation. There's nothing. So, regardless of what party you guys, support, this is all political theater. Nothing's going to get done. We keep going back to square zero. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. But there's a lot of people out there that are fooled by this political theater and think the Democrats are actually resisting all of this, and they're not. It's a joke. Kamala Harris's book, total joke. I've read some inserts from it and stuff. It's just total lies and revisionism. Total lies and revisionism. It's, you really got to dig deeper in all of this stuff, and when I was flying back home, had plenty of time to reflect on what is going on in the world, at how the distractions, the feminists and this and the Republican Democrat, this, that, it's disheartening. And the people that could affect change refuse to do so because they've got the money and they can live behind their high walls and gates and private security. I put a thing up where there was a shooting in my neighborhood. I wasn't here. I was out of the country. Not even a mile away from my police station, right? And, people, a lot of people say, well, that happens, this, that. No, what you're not understanding, see, that's what I'm saying. Those of us who do not live the experience, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know. You have no clue. Gentrification in Southern California has been going on for over 40 years. That is why Compton, historically black areas in Los Angeles proper, no longer exist. They put a $6 billion football stadium in the heart of a black community in South Central Los Angeles, where Maxine Waters has part of jurisdiction there. In the heart of the black community, which brought the rise of black homelessness in LA. If you go back and you look at the time frame of this proposal that happened to where the stadium is today, then it's a $6 billion stadium, and I would say a majority of the people who live around that stadium cannot afford tickets to even go to a game. Why couldn't they put this $6 billion stadium next to Beverly Hills, where the people who live in that area definitely could afford tickets? It's gentrification. It's been going on. There's a clip from Boys in the Hood. Remember, if you guys saw the movie Boys in the Hood, Furious talked about how gentrification works. And, those of you guys that don't know, you don't know. But here in California, there are not that many Republican-controlled areas. Gentrification mostly happens in democratically controlled areas. So it is policy and a backdoor agreement between the developers and the democratic regimes that are in control. Because usually, at least in my city, your political affiliation at the mayor level, it's nonpartisan. Nobody cares what your political affiliation, but we know it has a lot of influence of what is going on. I live in a highly strong democratic area. These are policies that are going on, and we've never had these problems that we're having in my community until the last 4 years. I mean, of this magnitude. Vandalism, shootings, thefts, beatings. It's easy to sit behind your secured fence with your private security and tell everybody else there's no problems. We're having problems where there was never any problems before. I know a lot of people don't agree, and whatever. I also had a chance to reflect that, and I come to the conclusion that people don't want to hear the truth. They just don't want to hear it. No matter how much you put it out there, they don't want to hear the truth. They try to basically justify everything. This is why I said the Epstein files don't matter. Who cares? Where do we put a moral ceiling on what we consider, right and wrong? Who cares about the Epstein files? One of my friends said, well, it's about children. Well, I know that. It's about children. But so what? So what? A lot of you guys are telling me, and sidebar to those guys I've talked to, a lot of people are telling me basically I could be in an institution of marriage, have a child outside of the marriage, and it's okay. A lot of you guys wouldn't even want to answer that question. The defining question of what is going on, is it right or is it wrong? I was talking to a person, and they were saying, damn, Donovan, you're like, my way or no way. No. I'm not that. I don't operate in gray. That's the difference between me and a lot of people. Okay? Everything to me was yes or no. My parent, my mother, she raised me, yes or no. There was no gray area. Very, very rare I would operate in the gray area. Oh, my father died, this is that. So should I go use that excuse to go use drugs? I could, but I don't do that. Oh, the mother wasn't this or that, so now I'm going to go over here and be a whore myself. That's the gray area. People use excuses for their behaviors. And people can choose to live their lives the way they want to live them, but I don't live my life that way. People say, oh, you're just too judgmental. Everybody's judgmental. See, this is what I'm saying. I'm trying to get you guys that don't use your logic to use your logic first. Everybody's judgmental. When you wake up in the morning, do you not judge what clothes you're going to put on for the day? Do you not judge how you're going to get to work? Are you going to take the bus, train? You're going to drive yourself? When you go to lunch while you're at work and you go out to eat, do you not judge what restaurant you're going? Judging is a part of being a human being. You do it every day. You do it in everything that you do. Oh, well, Donovan, you're kind of just taking it, too far, too extreme. But you know what we're saying. You're just doing too judgmental. No, I'm not. I'm using my logic. Don't tell me I'm being too judgmental when that's what people do. We judge. Oh, girl, do I look good in this outfit? Oh, yeah, girl, you look great. Oh, my God, fabulous. Snap, snap. This is what human beings do. I've come to the conclusion a lot of people can't stand the truth. They just can't, whatever that truth may be. Because, number one, they don't use their logic. They let their emotions carry them to a conclusion, which is very dangerous. Facts trumps emotion every time. It just does. Do I know everything? No, I don't. I don't know probably nothing. But I rely on my logic to decide what's right and what's wrong. And I have a moral compass that was instilled in me as a child to where I still use today. The very thing that you hate, you become. So logically, as a man, any woman that wants to destroy the patriarchy is my enemy. That's logical. But you don't see me out here trying to stop feminists from protesting. You don't see me out here stopping anybody from enjoying the rights that they are entitled to. I don't do that. But I'm unapologetic that I'm not going to be out there helping you destroy something that I benefit from. I'm not going to do that. That's not logical. So, a lot of the stuff that's going on, and it's very dangerous. Somebody told me, they go, Donovan, you have a platform that is very influential. Yeah. A lot of people do. Cardi B, Beyonce, all of these people have platforms, and you influence people, right? My goal is try to influence people to think and not be so emotional. That is my goal, to do that. I don't care how you spin it. I don't care. Right is right, wrong is wrong. We can talk about the gray area later, but you got to have a beginning and an end. You guys keep talking about infinity, which is not logical. Nothing goes on forever. You got to have a start and you got to have a finish. You get married till death do you part, which is the finish, right? When you get married, there's a moral responsibility to where you're saying you're going to be exclusive to one person. And we all know this stuff, those of us that do it. Do things happen within that marriage? Absolutely. But that does not stop the fact of what you shouldn't do within that marriage. I always said this, and I said this about the judicial system, what I don't like about the judicial system when it comes to family affairs. I never thought a side girl, side chick, should get the same benefits or respect as the married woman. There's got to be some kind of differentiation, because if you don't have a differentiation, why promote marriage? Why should marriage be so popular? Whenever I talk to young ladies about marriage and about relationships, in my opinion, these young ladies always ask me the same circular question, which I think is very, very strange. These women always seem to be able to tell a man how to be a father. Yeah, I'm glad these ladies have an idea or an opinion of it, but again, a woman could never, ever tell a man how to be a man. Like a man could never tell a woman how to be a woman. So this one young girl asked me, she in her relationship, they were having some issues. And she said, Donovan, well, she calls me, Mr. Sadiq, because I'm a lot older than her. She said, he doesn't show up when he's supposed to. The court order says he's supposed to be here at this day and do this and do that and do this and do that. And I looked at her and I said, so what? I said, what do you want the court to do? You can't make a man be a father. You just can't. And I noticed with a lot of these women that have feminist traits, I'm not saying they're feminists, but they have feminist traits, it's a control issue. They want to control the father of their children to do what it is they want to do. So I told her this. The only thing the court can do when it comes to unwed parents and to that man is financially obligate him. If he decides not to show up when he's supposed to pick up the kids, oh well. Oh well. You could bring him back in the court and, but what can the court really do? Send him to jail? He's in contempt. Yeah, he's in contempt of court. But what can you do other than, okay, well, if he's not showing up, take away his visitation. If the father doesn't want to be there, he just can't be there. You can't make him be there. The only thing the courts can do is financially obligate him to his payments. That's it. That's it. And medical. Outside of that, the court can't really do anything. You have the child. So if you had 50-50, you take them back to court, they're going to give you 100%. Hold them in contempt, give you 100% of custody. You already had that. That basically nothing changes. As long as that man is paying his money, that's all the courts can do. Now, a married father, that's a little bit different. You see the difference? When you're married, there's a little bit more repercussion to it. Number one, he's probably more invested in his children, so he's going to do what he needs to do. But when you're having children out here with random men, there's not much the court can do but financially obligate that man to financially support the child. You can't make a man be a father if he doesn't want to. You young ladies need to understand that. And the sad thing is, the older women are not educating the younger women, because it just doesn't make sense to me. And I've also realized I could say something and another woman could say the exact same thing. And because I'm a man, women won't listen to me. But a woman can say the same exact thing and they're like, oh yeah. That's how bad the divide has gotten. I've noticed that. And when I see threads or certain things going on, the man is saying the exact same thing. But he's a man, so we can't listen to him, girl. Now we ain't gonna do all this. It's just insanity. It's insanity. Another person was asking me. Another female friend of mine was, and I have a lot of female friends because I like being around women. Another female friend was asking me about, how brothers like myself are going overseas and, passport bros. I'm not a passport bro, but people that go overseas and they're not checking for black women. I said, well, statistically, black people marry black people. Statistically, Asians marry Asians, and so on and so forth. That's just how it is, okay? But she was saying, one day she wants to be married, right? She's got 2 children. We know the basic story. But she wants to get married, right? She's 30, in her 30s or whatever. She wants to get married one day. And I told her, nothing's impossible, but in your situation, it's going to be very difficult. And she asked me, said, Donovan, why? I said, let's see. You've got tattoos all over yourself. You already got 2 children by 2 different men. You qualify for public assistance, which I wish I could. The type of man you're looking for, you're delusional. That type of man isn't going to be checking for you. But I told her the biggest thing, if she's asking me, is her appearance. You got tattoos, you're weaved out, and it's going to be your appearance. I said, I've never met, I've never seen, even in a movie, a rich man who is walking around with a woman that has tattoos all here and all this other. I've never seen it. And she asked me, she goes, do you really think so? I said, yeah, I really think so. At your age, the man that you are shooting for predominantly is going to be older. And he goes to events, and he isn't going to go to an event with a woman that looks like that. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. I remember when I was younger, maybe it's just a generational thing, or we were just more grounded into reality. But we always knew there's going to be there's a certain stage you reach, then you have to do certain things. And I never would think, hey, I'm going to tattoo my face and do all of this stuff so when I'm in my 40s, people could take me seriously. There were certain things we didn't do because we thought of the future, what it's going to look like, how it's going to be, whatever. Not against tattoos. I mean, I don't have any, but if you had a tattoo, you got a bikini and you got the tattoo in the back or on the shoulder, something that could be hidden, no problem. But when you got tattoos here and on the side of your face, young ladies, ain't no man gonna marry that. Ain't no man gonna marry that. Ain't no man that you want is gonna marry that. Those are factual. Point me out a man that is a businessman. We're not talking about entertainers marrying entertainers. We're not talking about that. The reality is a regular, everyday female wanting a high-value man. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not. That's the reality of it. But I told her, keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. That's all I can say. So real quick before I go, I got to go to the commissary. My dog is out of food. I might as well get these cats some food. And if you guys ever go on a trip, one thing about my cats, I have 4 of them. Or actually, I have 2. And I got 2, no, I got 3. Yeah, I've got 3. And Claude, the stray that I saved, he's still around. But I come home and they're rubbing all over me. You know, they're putting their scent back on me and stuff, and it's just, I mean, I couldn't sleep. And they're rubbing in my face, and you're laying in the bed, and they're just all over you, and you're just like, oh, Jesus. Because, one is trying to put the scent on top of the other, and it's just, as long as they're not spraying, I'm good. But they're just rubbing against me and stuff. And then Benny, he's right here. I got to go to the ER because he jumped on me, and I think I don't know if my wrist is sprained or whatever, but it is like super, super, super painful right now. And I could still use it, but I'm just in pain using it. Using a lot of Tylenol. But I'm back. I mean, there's a lot of topics I want to talk about, but no, it's never going to be one party. I'm trying. The reason why, and I really hate to keep saying this to people. There's no reason to talk about the Republican Party when 90+% of black people vote Democrat. There's just no reason to talk about the Republican Party. We don't vote, black people in general, we don't vote Republican, sorry. We just don't do it. So there's no point in talking. It's a waste of time. But everybody wants to throw these distractions out. What about isms? Well, you need to talk about both parties. No, we don't need to talk about both parties. We don't. I'm trying to wake up the people in the Democratic Party. And it's not for them to vote Republican, because as I keep telling you guys, these are the same party. It's the same party. So how do you work against a two-party system? If you think about it logically, the two-party system is perfect for us as black people or people of color. How? With only 2 parties, they've both got to vie for those votes. So being that pong or that political football that goes between the two, they've got to serve and give us what we want if they want to remain in power. So technically, logically, we can call the shots and say, hey, if you don't give us this, you don't get our vote. But when you give all of your vote to one party, which we do, to the Democratic Party, what do they do and give us in return? Absolutely nothing. They automatically assume they're going to get our votes. That's why they work for the other groups. Well, blacks are going to vote for us anyway, so we don't have to worry about catering to them. They're going, those dumb Negroes, they're going to vote for us anyway. But notice in the last election, when 15% of black people stopped voting for them, they paid attention. Did you guys notice that? I don't care how you vote. Local elections matter. But when you could use your influence to say who goes into the White House and who doesn't go into the White House, and you get nothing for that vote, logically that doesn't make any sense. So anyway, you guys, Bad Benny, he's chilling out, and he did something to my wrist. He was so excited to see me, and being a pit bull, God, he's strong. But I gotta let him know I'm still alpha dog around here. But yeah. So I'm back. A lot of stuff to talk about. Ladies, I did send you guys a picture of me on the beach in my Speedos. Did you guys like that? That was pretty. I thought that was pretty good. You guys could see me in my Speedos on the beach. And they're back. My Speedos are back. They are back. So, again, like it, hate it, learn to love it. Simple as that. Okay? But midterms are coming up. Government shutdown is looming, and the Democrats, it's all talk. It's all talk. They're not going to do anything. It's unrealistic what they're asking for. Trump is not going to reinstate immigration problems that he's been trying to close down, and it's just theater, and people just they're just cheering this stuff on like it's oh, they're doing something. Oh, they demand a meeting with the president. Some people are easily satisfied. They're sitting on their hands doing absolutely nothing. I don't see these congressmen out here in their communities leading protests around the nation. But this man is such a devil. They're the same people. They're just playing games. They're letting all of this stuff happen. This is their strategy. Let the American people suffer and suffer, then they're going to have to vote for us. Right? I don't think it's a strategy that's going to work. I just don't think it is. A lot of people think what is happening is a reality check. And people are starting to get their shit together. They're just realizing, hey, ain't nobody going to save us but us. So anyway, you guys, I'm headed to the commissary. Just want to let you guys know I'm back. Oh, damn, Donovan's back. Got a lot of stuff else to say. Be back on the Dimitri K show. A lot of stuff going on. I just got to, clean the house out and do what I got to do, because when you have cats and dogs and stuff, but especially cats, the cat dander. So I got to do like some heavy vacuuming and, mopping and just get everything refreshed, basically. Air it out. I did that yesterday when I came and I aired out the house. But my nephew did a great job, I guess, but got some things I got to twerk with him on that. But all in all, I'm thankful. And by the way, I was in Dallas, and I stopped by Cowboy Stadium, and Jerry and I had a very, very good meeting, and I told him, if we do not even make the playoffs, this is your last year of ownership. It's it. He's going to be out. His family's still going to control the team, but Jerry as the GM and the president, he's out. He will not be controlling next year. Simple as that. So yes, for those folks, expect to win this. I think it's a bye week this week for the Cowboys, but the next game, expect a win from the Cowboys. Expect a win. And I did tell Dak, practice squad is waiting on you. All right, you guys. I'm still a little lagged, but I'll be okay. I'll be okay. All right. Have a great day. You guys pay attention to what's going on out there. Please use your logic first. Your emotions, it is a propaganda tool that when you encircle emotions into a topic, a person is more likely to vote or go against their own basic logic because they've got emotions vested in it. It's kind of like you ladies. For some reason, you guys know men are liars and will say anything to get in your pants, and yet you guys still fall for it time after time after time. It's just the way we're designed. All right, you guys. For real. Gotta go.